I have nothing against most of the hundreds of thousands of people who went to Penn State University. I have no problem with their rooting for their football team for generation after generation. The way they love their football team and coach does not imply and did not imply consent for serial predatory sexual crime against boys. But I do have something against the people whose negligence or willful ignorance allowed Jerry Sandusky to do what he did. The coaches, the administrators, the officers of the school, they have deserved whatever punishment they have received. All of them. Penn State partisans want to move on. That's human nature, and it's understandable. They have the right to move on. Appropriately. And how do I define appropriately? Well, let's just say I know inappropriate when I see it. And I saw it last night in a news story I read. When a Penn State University trustee named Albert Lord states in an email that he is, quote, running out of sympathy for the so-called victims. So-called victims are his words. That is not moving on appropriately. When Albert Lord describes the survivors of Jerry Sandusky as 30-somethings with lots of money, that is not moving on appropriately. Mr. Lord does not seem to grasp the fact that sex crimes leave survivors who will always be survivors after they were the victims. There are people whose lives were changed forever for the much more difficult thanks to Jerry Sandusky and his enablers at Albert Lord's Penn State University. And Mr. Lord should know this. Our reservoir of sympathy and support for survivors has no limit. We don't run out of sympathy, dude. We try to move on, but we never forget or disrespect what happened there. So Albert Lord can move on, but he should do so quietly after he apologizes and maybe resigns.